Crane and the Cowboy, this national presidential election is, well, it's better than a soap opera, Patrick. I mean, from a pure entertainment value, and then you think about, oh, it's our country.
Hey, best thing on television, and yeah, but then you have to start to think, wait a second, this isn't The Bachelor where somebody at the end is going to win and get married. This is going to be around for 4 years. So, but look, it's a campaign. I mean, everybody's talking about, oh, this is nasty and all this other stuff. The same complaints we hear every year. And I would suggest most people go read a book about presidential elections because they've been nasty since the second.
So we're coming to you just about a month away from the November 8th vote. This was the morning after the night before the big debate, the second debate in St. Louis. And obviously the overriding theme going in was the comments that Donald Trump allegedly made in 2005. I say allegedly because, I mean, we know they're on tape and he's admitted to it, but it's not something you want to just paint with a broad brush. But at any rate, what happened to the whole idea of this being a town hall format? I think there were, 4 or 5 questions from people.
I think, if you look at older debates, which I did this morning, most of the questions were, but now that we've got Facebook and now we've got social media, let's take a question from Facebook. If I was an audience member, I'd feel cheated. Here, you made me sit here and you only picked on a couple of people. That's where they could have really let the people talk. I don't know why these moderators feel anybody wants to hear what they have to say. If you have a people's debate, let them talk. And they're probably, because they many times ask the more revealing questions.
It's kind of interesting when you go back, as Patrick did, to these other debates. Once upon a time, there were 3 or 4 networks, and you had 3 or 4 anchor people, and those were the moderators, or those were asking the questions. Now we've got a zillion different networks, and I don't remember Peter Jennings trying to be a star, or Dan Rather trying to be the star, or Bob Schieffer trying to be the star, or John Chancellor trying to be the star. But now everybody on Fox, everybody on CNN, and everybody and ABC, you name it, they have to be stars.
Well, I was with last night on KFBK doing radio after the debate.
This is Sacramento,
Sacramento station. There's a woman who's an expert from Sacramento State, and she said, you know what she would like to see? You put a question on the table, and the only person in the middle is a timekeeper. Just like in England in the Oxford debates. Now, maybe that's a little too highbrow for America, but the moderator should just be a timekeeper. Bing, your time's up.
Why don't we just get Alex Trebek and make it a Jeopardy board?
Well,
Foreign relations for 20, Art.
Yeah. I'll take presidential spouses.
Will you?
Yes, said Bill Clinton.
Well, that was the other thing. The news conference that Donald Trump called ahead of the debate with the alleged victims of Bill Clinton.
And did you see the picture of Bill Clinton at the debate?
He wasn't too happy.
He looked like he was going to have a stroke. I mean, I know there was a person behind him with defibrillator paddles ready to jump on top of him. Look, I said it before and I'll say it again. Everything in life has a price. And sometimes you pay the price right away and sometimes you pay the price later on, but eventually you got to pay it. Bill Clinton is now paying the price for years of depravity and for years of having Hillary Clinton trash women. And guess what? It came back and bit him in the hiney as it should.
We're not exactly sure where things stand in the polls. The last we looked, Hillary Clinton may have been up by as much as 10%, 10 points, I should say, but that did not count the allegations about Donald Trump making to, what was it, Access TV? Or?
Yeah, Access Hollywood.
Access Hollywood.
The paragons of virtue in America.
I'm just going to get to that.
Yeah.
This is the thing. There's so much hypocrisy. You can't defend what Donald Trump said, but it is locker room talk. If you've been in the military, if you played sports, if you've been in a locker room, you've been out with the boys, you've probably heard it. If not, maybe you're in a cloister somewhere. Yeah. But the hypocrisy on both sides, from the John McCain's and the other Republicans, Mitt Romney, holier than thou, like these words, like John McCain never heard anything like this in the Navy.
Yeah.
And then we have on the
Which
liberal...
Navy was he in?
Right. And then on the liberal side, the same ones who throw all this garbage at us on TV and in the movies, oh, look what Donald did.
Yeah. We got the filth factory in Southern California telling the rest of us about what is acceptable behavior. And I said on my radio show the other day, maybe everybody in Hollywood, since we're getting close to Thanksgiving, should wear those big black broad-brimmed hats with the buckle on it and the big white collars, and they can start calling each other thee and thou, because it sounds like they're a bunch of new Puritans. What a bunch of hypocrites. They've been making money off trash for a long time, and now they're shocked to find out that somebody said something dirty.
Right. Now we have Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, distancing himself from Donald Trump over the weekend, wouldn't go to a rally or wouldn't be on the same stage as Trump. Well, his best buddy is Kevin McCarthy, who was a known philanderer, but they haven't severed their friendship. So there is a lot of hypocrisy there.
There are more people in Washington chasing skirts than anything else than you can count. I mean, I got to tell you something. The absolute hypocrisy of the elitists in this country is ridiculous. And that's another reason why the public's saying get rid of all of them.
Yeah. So this may pass for Donald Trump. It may not. There may be some voters who absolutely will not vote for him because of this. There may be some voters who, as you heard on your radio show, a lot of women called you and said, I could care less.
I had 10 women call, and I encouraged women to call in, and every one of them was sticking with Trump. In fact, every one of them was turning against the media.
Well, let's talk about the debate. You would have to say even Trump's opponent said that he won the debate last night. A little shaky at first as he had to defend himself against those comments from 2005. But then he attacked Hillary pretty hard.
Yeah, he beat her like a rented mule once he got past the sex question in the beginning. And he understands television. He understands the bite much better than she does. She drones on about policy and all this other stuff. And he comes up and zing, he hits her. It's like when she was talking about Abraham Lincoln. All of a sudden,
Where'd that
poor
come
old,
from?
well, they dug him up and they decided we're going to talk about, well, you know, your public position versus your private position. You know, Abraham Lincoln had a public. Come on. And then Donald Trump basically said, you ain't no Abe Lincoln.
I was going to say, any comparison with Hillary Clinton and Abraham Lincoln is purely coincidental.
Yeah.
Well, here, now, again, we're a month away. And if Donald Trump loses, I guess the Republican Party will just say, well, we told you so. And then we have Hillary Clinton. If Donald wins, though, payback for both sides may be a little tricky because he's already said he's going to have his Attorney General look into Hillary.
Oh, yeah. And that the base loved that. In fact, a lot of other Americans loved it. Maybe somebody should be held accountable for this stuff. I think, quite frankly, if the Republicans are smart and he wins, let him be your shield. You're good. You know, Paul Ryan keeps talking about his plans and everything else. He's nothing more than an apparatchik, right? He wants to show you his. Look at my plan. Look at my plan. Look, you need somebody to come in there and say, how are you going to sell this piece of crap? You can't sell anything because you're trying to sell a 50-page plan. Trump's going to come in and say, look, give me the plan. You guys pass it, and I'll go sell it.
Also going to be interesting to see if Donald Trump gets there, and at this point, who knows, how he's going to treat the media, considering how the media has treated him.
Ooh. Well, let me see. On the press plane that follows the president.
NBC may not have the first row at the press conference.
I kind of think that. I also think maybe on the press plane, rather than handing out meals, they're going to have the woman come down the aisle with the big bucket of stew and just slap it on their plates like it's a prison.
I thought maybe it'd be like a New York subway car where you could just hang onto a strap.
Thanks for the idea. We got to call the Trump people. Remember, no seats on the press plane. They hang from straps and plastic hard seats.
Hey, careful. We might have to be on that plane. Well, that's a look at what's going on in politics now. Crane and the Cowboy here on thelibertyplaybook.com. More to come, or well, we'll have a little bit more to come as the political season unfolds.